Which A-Class performance sedan is actually fastest when three very different approaches to rear-wheel drive go head-to-head? Is it the lightweight Italian sedan with a supercharged V8? The heavyweight American Hellcat with more torque than good sense? Or the Australian sedan powered by a twin-turbo 8.4-litre V10? Today, the 2017 Alfa Romeo, the 2015 Dodge Charger SRT, and the HSV GTS are taking on the same custom test track. One track, three high-powered sedans, and one question: which one is actually the fastest? Welcome to Forza Track Battle. The rules are simple. All three cars are built to A700 and remain rear-wheel drive. Each car gets a warm-up run first, where I'll give some live driving impressions and get a feel for how it behaves. Then we'll jump straight into the car's best clean lap and put a time on the board. Each car gets 3 timed runs, and the fastest clean lap counts. Fastest lap wins the timing battle. Simple. But that does not automatically tell us which car was the best to drive, because we're also looking at handling, stability, power delivery, consistency, and fun factor. Let's introduce some of the car stats. First up is the 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia
Quadrifoglio, I think.
Anyway, it's A700, 644 horsepower with 648 Newton meters of torque, weighing in at 1,694 kilos, with, of course, rear-wheel drive. And it is running on its stock sport tyre compound. Under the bonnet, the original engine has been replaced with a 4.8 or 4.7, one of them, V8 with a centrifugal supercharger. The
Quadrifoglio
is the lightest car in the battle by a significant margin. It also has the lowest power and torque figures of the three, and it is the only car here running sport tyres rather than semi-slicks, which we'll get onto later. But after testing it around the track, it feels surprisingly close to the other two in terms of overall grip. Its main advantage should be the lower weight. On a technical track, that could make it the most responsive and easiest car to place through the tighter sections. Next is the 2015 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat. A700, 715 horsepower, 892 Newton meters of torque, weighing in at 2,112 kilos, rear-wheel drive, and it is running semi-slick race tires. The Charger keeps its stock supercharged 6.2-litre Hemi Hellcat V8. This is the heaviest car here by a comfortable margin. It weighs more than 2 tons, which is a lot of car to slow down, turn, and then convince to change direction again. That weight is also part of the reason I chose the semi-slick tires. I could have built it on a lower tire compound, but the goal with these tunes is not just to make them fast. I also want them to be approachable and enjoyable for more people to drive. These are not necessarily full meta builds. They are tunes built for this track battle series, but they should still work well in road racing, street racing, and general open world driving. Finally, we have the 2014 HSV Gen-F GTS at A700 with 767 horsepower, 976 Newton meters of torque, weighing in at 1,952 kilos, and of course, rear-wheel drive. And like the Charger, it is running semi-slick race tires. The factory engine has been replaced with an 8.4-litre V10 fitted with twin turbos. This gives the HSV the most power and torque in the battle. It is also lighter than the Charger while using the same tyre compound. The V10 may sound like the wildest engine choice here, but one of the reasons I picked it is because of how smoothly it builds power. it tends to deliver its performance in a more progressive way than some of the other high power engine options, which could make the car easier to manage despite the numbers. I also have a feeling that this V10 could become a very strong A-class engine choice, particularly in an all-wheel drive build. But for this battle, it remains rear-wheel drive. The testing ground is once again my custom track at the Mr. Shikadan's estate. The estate has a name, the track still does not. This circuit is designed to test braking, rotation, mid-corner grip, corner exit traction, high-speed stability, and how confidently each car allows me to use the throttle. The last part may be especially important today. So let's start with the lightest car of the group. It's time to take the Alfa out for a warm-up run. Okay, so we've got the Alfa out for a warm-up on the track. Now you may notice a lot of grass clippings on the track. Yeah, let's disregard it. It's it's a little bit of a pain when building on the estate. Yeah, it was a bit unexpected. I wasn't expecting the grass to clip through. I'm hoping the team at Forza will eventually work out a way how we can remove it without actually building a platform first. But for now, it's not really bothering me too much, and I really can't be bothered redesigning the whole track. I'm just going to try and see what this hits down the straight. It's got pretty decent power, I'm not going to lie. It's very strong at the moment. I'll get the tyres to break loose a little bit here, just to see what its characteristics are like. It's very manageable, the oversteer. I could really drift if I wanted to with this. It's hard to believe that I'm running stock tyres in this car. It's very rarely that I will build an A-Class with stock tyres. I think there are a few out there, probably the RX-7, the Honda NSX, to name a few, but I can't think of many more off the top of my head. So this car is very strong with stock tyres. It handles really well. The oversteer is manageable. It turns in perfectly. It's very smooth, which surprises me. Like, it's stable, I guess, in turn in. It does tend to break loose a little bit when you put the pedal down in corner exit or mid corner. Mostly corner exit, but it's not too bad. It's manageable. The tires are warm now, so I'm pretty much it's just loosened up a bit too much, but it's fun. You know, it's fun to drive. Overall, it handles nicely. It's got plenty of power on the straight, so this is going to be a very competitive car today. I think we are good to do a timed lap. So again, I will be running 3 timed laps, and we'll show you guys the best timed lap out of the 3 coming up. Now it's time for the Hellcat for a warm-up run. It's funny, this car is the heaviest here, yet I don't feel too much of a difference compared to the Alfa, which I've just driven not long ago. It could be the fact that I am running semis on this, which does help it out a little bit more, which is good, which is what you want. You want to try and balance things out as best as possible. Now, I could have easily just put rally tires on, put more power on, but I don't know if that would have done it any more of a favor, purely because this track is not really designed to run on 1,000 horsepower. I'm sure you can, maybe if it's all-wheel drive, but I think it would be better in rear-wheel drive to have a good balance of power and handling. So that's the goal here, not just for straight line speed, not just for the top speed, but a mix of everything. So that's why I thought, to be competitive against the other two, put semi-slicks on here. And it technically does have more power or more torque as well than the Alfa. So, you know, it should be a pretty good battle here. Now, on the straight, it's not too far behind the Alfa from what I can see. Turns in nicely. The semi-slicks help a lot. Plenty of grip, plenty of turn in. Is it as smooth as the Alfa? I don't feel like it at the moment. It still does the job. I still like the handling characteristics of the Alfa. Overall, it's pretty good. It doesn't oversteer as much. It does turn in, does have a nice brake oversteer. The change of direction is very good. Sometimes it feels like it turns in a little bit too much. Puts the power down nicely. Like I said, it doesn't feel like the heaviest here. So that's nice. I think we're good for a timed lap. Time to take the HSV out for a warm-up run. Let's see how it launches. Not bad, not bad. I wouldn't say the launch was amazing, but I feel like acceleration-wise, it's pretty good. And going back to what I was mentioning earlier about the V10 engines, the power delivery is so smooth, and it helps with rear-wheel drive cars in my opinion. That being said, I feel like for Forza Horizon 6, especially for A-Class online racing, it seems like the meta at the moment is this V10 engine with an all-wheel drive setup. I will have some of these builds coming up in the future. It does handle nicely. There is a little bit more. I can feel the torque. There is a massive difference compared to the other two. So it's very easy to spin up the wheels. Although it's got semi-slicks, it's nice. It does turn in beautifully. Yeah, rear-wheel drive cars are my favorite, although they're not meta in any way or form. Just like front-wheel drive, I guess. They just have so much turning response, you know, you can point it exactly where you want and it will do the job. Most of the track will be in second gear by the looks of it, the occasional third here and there, and of course the straight. Not bad. Seems a little bit slower than the other two on the straight, but I think we're good for a timed lap. Woo. 2.220. So, today's A-Class rear-wheel drive sedan battle results are in. In first place, we have the 2017 Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio with a time of 52.156. In second place, the 2014 HSV Gen-F GTS with 52.220. And finally, in third place, the 2015 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat with a time of 52.443. Despite the differences in weight, power, engine setup, and tire compound, all three cars were extremely close. The Alfa taking the win on stock sport tires was the biggest surprise. The HSV was right on its heels, and the Charger showed good pace but still feels like it had a little more time left in that tune. But the stopwatch only tells us part of the story. So before we move to the leaderboard, here's the quick personality label I'd give each car based on how it felt to drive. Starting with best handling. Best handling goes to the Alfa Romeo. It felt the most stable, the smoothest, and the easiest car to trust through the corners. I had more confidence under braking, on corner entry, and when getting back onto the throttle. And the impressive part is that it managed all of that on the stock sport tire compound. It never felt like it needed semi-slicks to compete. The lower weight and the balance of the chassis did most of the work. It was the easiest car here to place accurately, and the lap time backed that up. Best all-rounder. The best all-rounder goes to the HSV. It handled well, had strong grip from the semi-slicks, and still delivered excellent speed on the straight. It was very close to the Alfa in overall pace and only missed the win by 0.064 seconds. The V10 also delivered its power more progressively than the figures might suggest, which made the car manageable despite having the most power and torque in the battle. Lastly, most character. The Charger gets the label for most character. It was the loosest car of the three, it had the most attitude, and it easily had one of the best soundtracks. It was not completely wild, but it did require more attention and felt less consistent than the other two. The main thing holding it back was not a lack of power or top speed, it was how the car delivered that performance around the full lap. I think a little more tuning, particularly with the spacing between second and third gear, could make it much more competitive. But even as it stands, it still put down a strong time and showed very good speed at the end of the straight. These three cars now join the A-Class leaderboard. But before we look at the updated order, there is one quick timing note. In the first Integra battle, I was starting and stopping the lap timer manually using the map buttons. Since then, I've updated the timing app so it now reads live data from the game and automatically detects the start and finish points. That should make the timing more accurate and consistent going forward. Because of that, I reran the three Integras using the new automatic system and updated their leaderboard lap times accordingly. So, the leaderboard you're seeing now contains the revised Integra times along with today's new results. Now I must say there is some good competition here with front-wheel drive cars. As you can see, the front-wheel drive cars, we've got two at the top of the leaderboard that are hitting 51s. So we're starting to see how the cars will behave on this track and which cars will maybe dominate on this track. Now we're yet to see all-wheel drive cars, but that's coming up in a future videos. If you've got an A-Class battle you want to see next, drop the cars in the comments below, and if you've already got a tune code, send that through as well. I may test it, feature it in a future battle, and give you a shout out. For now, the series is staying focused on A-Class with S1 and other classes coming later. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe, and help me build this leaderboard. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Forza Track Battle.